It's Mike Elgan, the news director here at TWiT, and I'm talking today about the Acer Chromebase Touch. It's basically a Chromebook, but it's an all-in-one, and this one, as the name implies, has a touchscreen. It's really a great device, and it's cheap, too. It's $429.99. I guess the company would say it's a good value. I say it's a very low price one way or the other, no matter how you say it. One of the great things about this is that it's fast booting. It has all the attributes of a Chromebook or a Chromium OS-based device. It's secure. Everything's in the cloud. You can download things to local storage. But let's start with the hardware on this device on the desktop. It's got an NVIDIA Tegra K1 quad-core processor, which is okay. Not bad, not great. 4 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of internal storage. Lots of people think that Chromebooks and Chromebases don't have a lot of internal storage, that you can't store things locally. Yes, you can, and this one enables you to store 16 gigs of internal storage. It's pretty big, too, a 21.5-inch 1080p Full HD display. The display, as we'll get into the quality of the display in a minute, but it is HD, and it's a reasonably bright, reasonably good screen. It has 178-degree viewing angles, and so that's pretty good, especially as we'll get into, this thing tilts, and so you really are going to need that wide viewing angle. Regarding the touch display, it's a 10-point touch, so it can register 10 fingers at once, which you probably will never need. You probably never need more than 2 or 3. And it's got 2 3-watt audio speakers. The software, of course, is Chromium OS. That's Google's browser-based operating system. It's just like what you find on a Chromebook. Connectivity-wise, it's got HDMI out, not in, but just out. It's got 2 USB 2.0 connectors, and those are really for you to plug in the keyboard and mouse that come with it. The keyboard and mouse are, you know, low-end devices as you'd expect from an inexpensive desktop device like this. They're not the greatest mouse or keyboard that you'll ever find, but they're serviceable. They work just fine. And of course, it supports both Bluetooth 4.0 and Wi-Fi. That's very important. And of course, you can connect with Ethernet. Now, there isn't really a lot of competition in this space for a large screen touch display. Acer pretty much has the market locked up here for the most part. And it's a good device. It's a good, solid device. And one of the things I want to point out is that it tilts very nicely. Now, there's a stand on the back. It's like a kickstand. It seems like it would slide down or slide up or something like that, but it doesn't. It's nice and solid, and you can easily slide this thing up all the way down to more of a drafting table type angle, or all the way up so that it's vertical for watching TV or something like that. It's very fast and flexible, and everything about this is fast except the actual compute performance. So when I say fast, I mean it boots up in less than 10 seconds. It shuts down right away. You can adjust it and tilt it right out of the box. In fact, you get a brand new one of these things, you're going to be up and running in less than a minute. You just plug everything in and log into Google, and you have all your stuff that you would have with a Google login right there. Let's go through some more of the pros. The multi-touch is a really nice feature in principle. I love the idea of a very large, it's like the size of 4 iPads, for example. That's how big this display feels. And that's a great idea. The problem is Chrome OS it's not a great interface for touch. It's a interface for a mouse and a keyboard, and it would be great if Google would come out with a really touch-friendly interface for this. That would make all the difference in the world with a device like this. And it's also nice to know that it supports the VESA mounting interface standard. So if you've got standard mounting brackets, those big booms that can come in, you can do anything that you could do with any other VESA-compliant device with this and mount it if you don't want to just set it on the table. Now, there are some cons to this. One of them, as I said, that is slow. Even with a very, very fast Ethernet connection, it's not going to be blistering fast. It's not going to be as fast as a standard laptop where things are mostly running off the hard disk, and even slow for, comparatively for cloud-based applications that are loading from the cloud. I mentioned the touch interface. That's a major problem. It's one of the reasons why you really aren't going to use the touch a lot unless you're using a specific cloud-based app that is designed to be used with touch. Just using the normal controls with touch is a little uncomfortable. Buy, try, or don't buy. This is definitely a buy. I'm a big fan of 2 aspects of this. The first is the Chromium OS cloud-based computing idea. it works. If you haven't done it, you're probably skeptical. If you have tried a Chromebook Pixel or some other Chromebook, then you know that it's a lot more workable than it sounds. And one of the things you discover if you've been using a conventional laptop is that almost everything is in the cloud anyway. So you might as well go all cloud and gain the security benefits of doing that. The second thing that I like about this whole idea is the fact that it's a large screen touch device. These are rare in low-cost devices like this. Again, this is very inexpensive. It's just $429.99. If you want the non-touch version, it's $329.99. But this touch version, I think, is really great. You know, of course, in the world of Windows, you can get a large screen touch device, but you're not going to get it anywhere near this price point. So that's a very, very compelling combination. And for a second device, a secure device, and the fact that it's cloud, you can just plug it in, leave it where it is, and work with a laptop at work, whatever, and then you can come home and all your stuff is right there. So I really like this. Good, solid design. It just feels very sturdy. The screen isn't ideal, but it's good enough, and I would give this a definite buy. So that's my review of the Acer Chromebook Touch. And again, highly recommend it if you want a large screen touch device that runs Chromium OS.